Hi there, I am Seattle criminal defense attorney Stefanie Dorn, and I wanted to make this video in order to answer some of the most frequent questions that I get from clients about the criminal process. I have enlisted the help of a friend and colleague to ask some frequent questions of me, and without further ado.
I just received a letter in the mail saying I have court. What do I do next?
Okay, so that letter in the mail is likely a summons. That is very important, and you need to appear for that hearing. That hearing is likely an arraignment hearing, which is the hearing that starts the criminal process going. The first thing I would advise doing is retaining counsel, or at least starting to think about what type of considerations you are going to be looking for in counsel. It is important if you do decide to hire counsel that you have them at your arraignment hearing, as it is an exceptionally important hearing where the judge can determine conditions of release or even bail. And so having an attorney at your side from that very first hearing is very important in order to stay out of custody and stay away from overly restrictive conditions while the case is pending.
Well, if I committed this crime, shouldn't I just go to court and plead guilty?
No. This is a very kind of complex issue, and the short answer of it is that you have the right to have someone by your side advocating for you, looking into your case, making sure that it's fair, making sure that if you do ultimately decide to resolve it by some type of a plea or an offer, that it is one that is fair and reasonable to you. The maximum sentence for most misdemeanors is 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. And so it is exceptionally significant that you hire someone that can go in and advocate on your behalf, even if you do feel that you did it, because you still deserve the most fair outcome.
What if I already missed my court date, or I can't make the date that they've given me?
It's important to get in touch with your attorney if you've retained one right away. If you have missed your court date, you likely have a warrant out for your arrest, which is very significant. And it will get you at the worst time. I have had clients that have gotten arrested on warrants. One time, this guy on the way to his wedding, another client on his way home from international travel. You do not want to be playing that game. So once you retain an attorney, you can get, I get going in terms of taking care of the warrant, either making arrangements with the bail bondsman or with the court or with families in order to keep you out of custody without that anxiety while the case is pending. If they sent you a notice to appear, and let's say it's a date that you're on vacation or something, let your attorney know right away. Oftentimes we can do a motion in order to set it over a week or so. But the key thing is communication. It's not like the dentist office where you can just call and switch your appointment up. They're a lot more intense about it.
What if I don't live here anymore? Do I have to come back?
That gets tricky, and that oftentimes will depend on the specifics of the case. Bottom line, at some point, probably, if it's a criminal matter. Whether or not you'll have to come back for everything, or whether or not we can do it remotely or via Zoom. The courts are much more Zoom friendly now because of the pandemic, and that may continue. But for now, at least for sentencing and significant hearings, the court generally requires the defendant to be present, whether that means they're present in the courtroom or on the computer virtually.
When I do go to that first court appearance, do I have to talk or say anything?
You don't have to say much. If you are retained by an attorney, I do most of the talking. The judge asks you a series of, I tell my clients, they're easy questions you know the answer to. So, is your true and correct name Sam Smith? Yes. Or no, my middle name's different, or whatever. Is your date of birth this? Yes. Things you know the answer to, nothing tricky. And then you have been alleged to have committed such and such crime on such and such date. Do you understand? Yes. And then how do you plea? And then I take over from there. So there are generally those 3 questions that you answer, and then I say we enter a not guilty plea, answer any questions that the judge may have, speak to conditions of release if there are any concerns there, and kind of mostly take it from there.
Where do you go to court?
So I'm licensed in Washington State. I practice primarily in King County. I do take some cases in Snohomish and Pierce County, and for my other practice area, which is expungement and vacating, I do practice statewide. So if you have any additional questions, please feel free to give me a call, 206-931-1315. You can also email me at stephanie@attorneydorn.com. I hope this little FAQ video was helpful to you. Please call an attorney with any further questions. Thank you.